Loma Linda.
Diddle daddle.
I wasn't dilly-daddle. I was going
Yeah,
through.
you're dilly-daddling.
I was looking at.
You were totally dilly-daddling.
I was looking on what's on sports
yeah,
today.
whatever.
So anyway.
So still dilly-daddling.
I know. Well, you're a diller-daller too. So.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, how you doing?
Oh, good. Try to stay cool, like.
It's hot. I know.
It's like a weird. It's like partly cloudy, partly sunny.
We're supposed to see thunderstorms, right?
Yeah, it kept saying flash flood on my phone, and I haven't seen one drop of rain
to the
yet.
east of us, there's tons and tons of clouds. So.
But that doesn't mean there's rain.
I know. What's California? Flash floods can mean what a tenth of an inch.
Yeah, we haven't seen any. I've been getting so many alerts, and I haven't seen a drop. So I don't know.
In terms of heat, hot's hot. I mean, we're spoiled here, and heat here is nothing compared to Texas and Florida and Michigan, and when it's hot there, the humidity and stuff. That's the worst part. So, right? No, you disagree with me?
I think hot is just hot. It's all relative.
Don't you agree
Whatever
that
you're used
humidity
to.
kills you more than the heat?
Sometimes.
Yeah, when your hair curls up, tell me how you feel.
Yeah, I know.
See, I have curly hair, so it doesn't matter with me. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a fun show today. Very interesting week. We went to Bakersfield and took a little weekend trip out there. And I'm a big fan of Basque restaurants. And Basque restaurants, if you're not sure what that is, it's kind of like it's between Spain and France, I believe.
Yes.
And so it's kind of like the best of both. And the origins, I believe, come from the sheep herders that basically, you work in your fields all day, that you're hungry. Mm-hmm. So they give them food and lots of it. And there's about five restaurants in Bakersfield. There's one there's one near us it's called Centro Basco on Central in Montclair.
No, in Chino.
Chino. Well, Montclair is right border. And they do the same thing. It's been around forever. And anyway, all the Basque restaurants we've been to all of them. Our favorite is Noriega's, and it's Noriegas. Mm-hmm. And Noriega's has a fairly interesting background. It started in 1893 as a hotel or a motel, I guess. And
it's like a boarding house.
It was a boarding house for men only.
Mm-hmm.
So we ruled the earth then too. Haha.
Well, because
farmers.
Yeah.
So we were just kidding. Anyway, and then in 1940, because of the restaurant business was going booming, they expanded it. So they added more tables and a whole different room and everything. Mm-hmm. And basically, everything is served family style. And I think you can also order sometimes individual stuff, if I'm not mistaken, on some of the restaurants. But not
some
here.
of them. It depends. Some of the Bass restaurants are not a true family style. Like the traditional Bass restaurant is a family style. Everybody sits on the long table.
Tables.
So you really get to know your neighbors and everybody you sit with, and get to it's a community kind of thing.
Right. Which is a lot of fun.
It's a family table, so everybody's sharing the same plates. You pass on the food like you would do at home.
However, at home, if someone takes all of the items, you're stuck. Not here. Here, you want more salad, more soup, more blue cheese, whatever. They'll bring more to you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's called a set, right?
Yep.
It's a set. That's what they call it. There's standard food items that it's not like an entree, but it's called a set.
Which means basically appetizers before the meal type of thing.
Well, and then condiments and side dishes. Those are all standard. And in when you get the Pat's restaurant, usually, if it's a traditional one, they'll just serve maybe 2 entrees every night. And it's a different entree, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. They change it up. But the sides are all the same. So the set part of it's the same. And so, you get to kind of share what you have.
Right. And now the set items they have here, again, this is all one meal along with the entrees.
The price for one, yes.
Yeah. It's salad, soup. The salad is a nice salad, nothing fancy, but nice salad. Mm-hmm. Soup, it's kind of like a vegetable cabbage soup. It's just really good.
Vegetable soup.
You
That's
love
something
that soup.
you'll make at home.
Yeah, very,
totally
very comforting.
homey tasting, yeah.
It's got beans, very good beans. Izzy's not a beaner, but I get it. But you really enjoy beans. There are beans. They give you French bread, pickled tongue, which is like, wow, cottage cheese. Now, cottage cheese is cottage cheese, but not theirs. They add a little bit.
It's so good. You
We
can't
told
tell
them we
this
can't tell them what it is,
No recipes.
but it
to
has
give
green
them.
onions in it. We'll give them that information. But
But it's fairly finely chopped because I'm the type that don't like any raw onions in my food, and I can't taste the oniony part of it.
Yeah.
So it's fairly finely chopped, and so it's really
nice.
infused into the mix. Yeah.
then you get salsa, pretty nice, spicy salsa.
Yeah,
with
they
a
make
kick,
everything from scratch.
right. You get either a pasta or a rice dish. When we were there, it was a pasta. It was
It's a
actually
spaghetti.
with like a meat sauce over it with Parmesan cheese over that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get that was enough
fries.
French fries, and then vegetables. It could be green beans. It could be whatever. Blue cheese, slices of blue cheese. Then you got ice cream, and you also get house wine. It all comes with it.
All
And-
comes with the price of your dinner.
Right, and or you can also get either a soda, coffee, iced tea, or milk. So all this goes together. Price wise, it's like $39, and I think it was $39, and you can't beat that. I mean,
Oh, if you want an outing, you can go shopping, because there's an outlet like right on the edge of Bakersfield, like before you get to Bakersfield. And, you can go to Bakersfield for dinner and then drive home. I mean, this is just a perfect outing for the day, I think. I
now,
mean,
how,
if you
how
want
would you know
somewhere
about
different.
how would you know about the outlet?
Because I
Stop
and
and
shop there all the time.
You just look right. Now they have some-
Over the years. And it's one of the better ones, I think. I mean, it seems very desolate and very spread out, and it's not as busy as Cabazon. So the parking's a little easier, I think. Their selection is still pretty good, and I think the prices are better, and they have because there's not major crowds in there, so they tend to have a better selection of
the
products.
staff seemed friendlier too.
Yeah, definitely.
Really. So
Yeah.
anyway, the other thing too, a family just bought it over. A new family bought it over, and within the last year and a half, I believe, they moved over. So the new location, it's no longer in a. It wasn't a. How can I say this?
A
Kind
boarding house. I mean, it
boarding, but
looks
a
like
dungy area. It wasn't the nicest area.
Yeah, and it kind of reminds you of a barn, basically. I mean, that's what it looks like, a barn with a dirt lot next to it, and have handball courts in the back. And it was the old boarding house. So it looks like an old-fashioned Western, like, house you would think of.
Right.
And it's like boarding. It was used as a
Well,
boarding
1893, ever since then.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but the new location is located at 4809 Stockdale Highway, and it's in Stockdale. Let's see, Stockdale Fashion Plaza.
And it's really, it's really changed the dynamics. They did keep all the old artifacts from the Noriegas, from the boarding
tables,
house,
the tablecloths, the
tables,
chairs,
everything.
dishes,
They
everything.
really took even the recipes. They were all from the original Noriegas, so the recipes haven't changed. The chairs, the tables, the decorations. That hasn't changed, but of course, in this new space, it's a lot more upscale. There's like chandeliers because it used to be an upscale restaurant in this location. So there's, it just has I don't know, it's a
different
little more
vibe.
different vibe, a little more sophisticated vibe, and it's almost more a celebration place,
Right.
Before it used to be like, okay, you go there, So this is, we met a bunch of people there. There's locals
Very nice people.
that grew up in the area, and this is, they get together once a month, I think, once a week for these ladies to have, a meal together and hang out and chit chat, and that's what we end up meeting them there. And they grew up in Bakersfield, and they were telling us history about Noriegas and the old downtown area. So it was really interesting. I mean, just learning a lot of history too.
Right. Now, they open for lunch, and you get a lot of the items that we talked about, the beginning items, but not all of them. But the dinners, here's the kind of choices. First of all, they're closed on Mondays, okay? Tuesday, they have chicken cacciatore and ribeye steak. Wednesday, lamb stew, which Izzy loves, and prime rib. I mean, come on. Thursday, garlic fried chicken and spare ribs. Friday, omelet or beef stew and leg of lamb. I'm not sure about the omelet with that.
Well, I think the omelet is it Friday? 'Cause I think certain days they do breakfast.
Well, here it just says omelet or beef stew and
Okay,
leg of lamb.
there you go.
Saturday is oxtail. Oxtail stew and fried chicken.
Oh,
and
I need to
Sun-
drive back there for
I know. And
that
Sunday, beef stew and baked chicken.
yum.
But again, all that along with everything else for under $40, you can't beat it. So, but it's the whole experience, and you get to meet some really nice people. The people in Barstow,
Barstow,
I'm kind of impressed.
Bakersfield.
Bakersfield. I keep saying Barstow. God, what starts with a B? So, but the people there are just so friendly. Every time we go there for just eating out there or whatever, they're just very friendly people, and it's like like a smaller town, like you said in Texas, right?
When I was growing up in Texas, people talk to each other. People are friendly, if you and them, just waiting for the elevator, or you're standing in line in the grocery line, people chit chat and talk about different things. I mean, it could be any topic under the sun, right? And it's a very lively exchange, dialogue, and it's just very I don't know, that's what kind of reminisce of that growing up
Hmm.
when I'm in Bakersfield, because people tend to be that way, and it just has that vibe like I'm back in
And
Texas.
there's actually a lot of things to do in Bakersfield. We were surprised, and one of our favorite spots is called the Encore. It's a thrift shop, kind of a high end, not in the high end. Well, how can I say it?
Well, it's a local thrift store. It's for a mission. They raise funds for the mission, and the people that work there, I think some of them are volunteers actually.
Mhm.
They volunteer there, and I think all the money they get, it goes to a mission to help local
Right.
people, and
But the
so.
bargains you find there, oh my
Yeah, I
goodness.
mean, a lot of the local boutiques donate there, so you get a mishmash of stuff. You get used stuff, you get new stuff. I mean, it's a little bit of everything.
But you have to admit, out of all the places we've gone to, that has some really quality stuff.
Well, and plus the prices. I mean, like now you go to Goodwill or if you go somewhere else, if you notice, the prices are not as good as you would think a thrift store should been. Like if I went to Walmart or Target when they go on sale, it's about the same price. So it's kind of like there's a disparity. Like if you think thrift shopping, you would think, okay, the prices will be a lot more competitive, and I think they still have that feel there because they are, a charity base. So
Hmm.
they're not there to make money. It's just to move things out and get the money to use for their mission. So
Right.
it's,
So, anyway,
I think that's a good cause.
but between Noriega's and the website's noriegabasque.com. So,
Noriega's is, I have to say, I've tried all the, the Bakersfield Bass restaurant, and Noriega is probably my favorite, and I look forward to going there
that's the one you go to all the time.
every time I'm in Bakersfield. I usually I get one or two meals in a row, because they change a menu, so it's a different, entree, so it's not like I'm eating the same thing, and it's always so good.
And the
It's
new owners
so homemade food. I mean, it just tastes homemade.
Plus, the new owners are just really nice, and the
Mhm.
server staff are really, really gracious. And I mean, you feel like family. That's
I do. I really do love this, restaurant, and I highly recommend them to anybody that wants to try bass food, because I think this is definitely will open your eyes. Because some of the other bass food restaurants, I wouldn't say the quality is as good.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's
No, it's
yeah.
not as good. And the price is about it's about the same, but I think the quality here is much better.
And again, if you want more blue cheese, you want more tongue, you want more soup, guess what? They bring it to you.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, well, from there, got starving after a meeting there. We were driving and we got hungry, so we decided to go to one of our favorite restaurants. It's called Canaan, Canaan. It's a Cantonese Chinese restaurant. It's in, is it Artesia or Long Beach? Let's see. I'm looking at
I think it's El Cerritos.
Oh, yeah. No, it's Artesia, it says.
Artesia,
It's right on the
Artesia
borderline.
Cerritos area. There is also another one in West Covina.
Right.
That location is a little bit different. I think it tailored different clientele.
It's not as authentic.
Yeah, I mean, because I think it's a mixed clientele.
Yeah.
In this area, it's a lot more mixed. I mean, there's every different, down the street to Artesia is like low
Indian
India.
and Middle
So there's
Eastern
just a lot of authentic ethnic restaurants there, I think. And so they offer a little bit more diverse and more authentic menu.
But this one is very, very authentic and very, very good. And I mean, they have a soft shell crab, fried soft shell crab with a really nice sauce for like $18.95 for soft shell crab. That's unheard of.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had something. It's called oh God, I can't remember the name of it. Weefy noodle, something like that. It's kind of a strange name noodle.
Yemen.
Yeah, something like that.
Yemen.
Noodle. And it's called
Yemen.
Yeah, but the translation means longevity noodle, and it came with lobster. Cut up a whole lobster, and talk about it because it was really interesting. This noodle has a long history, and it's only served on holidays and stuff. They serve it all the time, but normally you can't find it anywhere. Every market we've ever been to, we can't find it.
Yeah,
But
I don't think people eat this on a daily basis. It's not a normal, like, everyday noodle, like pho or something like
except at
that.
this restaurant.
Yeah, and so it's kind of like one of those specialty items you don't see a lot unless you find a very authentic restaurant. It's very Cantonese, I think. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know what the region of it is, but I just remember eating it growing up, and this has a little more almost a spongy texture
it,
to the
it
noodle.
tastes like there's a hole in it. So when you bite into it,
Hmm.
it's a little airy. But it's a different taste
It's a
sensation.
little more bounce. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like pasta. You would think it's not dense. It's a lot airier and it's bouncy almost.
And the noodles are, it's got to be over 12 inches long. They're
I
large,
think they're
long
as
noodles.
long as like a spaghetti would be.
But longer, I think longer.
Mhm.
But the history is you're supposed to eat the whole thing, not cut it in half or anything, and just eat the whole thing because the longer you eat it, the more life you have, longer life. Whereas if you cut it, the tradition or the culture, whatever it's called, is that your life will be ending quicker. Kind of like that. Kind of.
I just know it's a superstitious thing, because I think a lot of different cultures have their superstition. And so a lot of times, certain things sounds like certain things, or it kind of signifies or implied good luck or whatever. So this implies good long life.
And we were talking about that, all the way home and everything. Is in America, do we have any? I can't think of any superstition traditions or anything.
Yeah, 13.
Well, but yeah.
Friday 13.
I'm saying food wise.
Mm,
Whether you eat with your hands or it doesn't matter how you eat.
no,
I
yeah,
can't think of any.
I don't associate any like food.
Yeah, I
that's
can't think of any. And we went
Yeah.
on the internet looking for kind of strange cultural type of
Mhm.
things. Basically, food customs around the world, basically.
Mhm.
And like I said, in America, I just can't think of any. But here are some interesting ones that we found that were like, wow. One in the Middle East: never use your left hand while eating. That's because primarily people in the region associate the left hand with other functions such as washing, bathing, and using the restroom. So if you reach out for food or eat with your left hand, you might be disrespectful and also unhygienic. So, and I can see that. So I know Ethiopian food. That's they eat with their right hand too. So
I think also in Malaysia, same thing.
same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
and like the Malaysian, like locally, they eat their like curry and everything with the right hand too.
Okay. In Thailand, you're not supposed to use a fork to push the food into your mouth. You could lift the food up and you stick it into a spoon and then eat it. Yeah, that's kind of
That's
strange.
a lot of work.
It says one is let's see. When it comes to the vast array of food items that are found in almost every nook and corner of Thailand, just remember one thing: in this country, it is considered rude to use a fork to put food in your mouth. The people here believe that the fork must be used only to push food into the spoon. You can then use the spoon to eat the food.
Hmm.
So I thought
Okay.
that's only done in like Italy and stuff with pasta, but I didn't know Thailand. So interesting.
But
Oh.
I mean, Italians use their fork to eat.
Yeah.
So you do push
Yeah,
food
but
in your mouth.
but usually I've seen it where they use
You swirl,
twirl it, yeah.
yeah, twirl the long pasta, yeah. But
And-
I mean, it's not bad luck, and it's not against.
Now this
eating.
one I really believe in. This is my favorite one. In Japan, it's okay to slurp to show you love the meal. When I do that, she yells at me, and Alan, have manners. But it's funny in Japan that's something that's admired.
You're not in Japan,
Well,
so hence no slurping. I don't know. I was brought up not to slurp my food, soup, noodles, whatever. Don't suck it in. Don't slurp. Don't make sound at the table.
well,
so
in Japan, slurping noodles and soup is considered acceptable, but many believe it improves the flavor. Kind of like wine, I guess, where you taste it and whatever. But additionally, it is meant to express that the dish is being enjoyed immensely. So that's kind of neat. Italy. Now I didn't know this. You don't pair fish with cheese. Now you had an incident like that, didn't you?
I did. Actually, it was seafood. Years ago, I went to Rome. I went to this restaurant, highly recommended. It's a local restaurant, not the tourist thing, so it's off the beaten path. Went there and ordered my, seafood with my some sort. I think linguine with seafood, of some sort. And I remember came with a red sauce and it was lovely. And I love cheese, so I'm like, oh, can I get some cheese? And the waiter told me, no, 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 you do not put cheese in with your seafood. And I'm like, okie dokie.
Even Parmesan over?
Yeah, no, he wasn't gonna give it to me. That was that. That was the end of the discussion, and I found that interesting. I never heard that before, but it makes sense because maybe it the seafood has enough
Different flavor.
It doesn't need the cheese to kind of mask any kind of flavor, or it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't. It takes away the sweetness of the
Well,
seafood.
they said it considered a culinary disaster in Italy to do that.
Oh wow! Oh well.
So,
There we go.
ooh,
I guess when in U.S. we're calling
anything we want.
disaster because we're all putting cheese on everything. So there you go.
Right. Amazing. South Dakota. I mean South Dakota. South Korea. Can't read here.
Dakota, really?
The eldest takes the first bite. Now, when people assemble for a meal, they wait for the eldest person at the table to eat first before the others join in. This is believed to be a great sign of respect for the elders. So see, that's why I eat first before you. Sometimes your head's in the dish before mine, but it's a different thing. But anyway, that's it. That's a nice.
You dill
that's a nice
daddle.
tradition.
So
That's
when
a-
there's food, you dill daddle, and I'm like,
look at
okay,
it and smell it.
yeah, okay.
But it's interesting. I think it's a nice culture to honor your elders.
Well, I know growing up, I was told you always like if you have a dish that was presented on the table is fresh, you always serve it to an elderly person first or elders
It's
first.
manners more than anything.
Yeah, it's manners to serve it to the elders first before you even grab a piece for yourself. So you make sure they're taken care of before you pick your own
Kind of like
piece.
serving women first. I mean, that's my feeling. I like serving women first, and then when except that
That's
sometimes it gets to you and you take everything, and I don't have anything
well,
to eat. But
I don't know. Many cultures is against that. I remember I was schooled on that. I don't, it was kind of shocking to me because I didn't grow up in that kind of, thing. Oh, men eats first, and I'm like, really, men eat first?
in your
Okay.
family, did the
Oh no, not in my family. My family,
now that was in Hong Kong. I mean, you remember those days when you just
Mm,
ate?
yes. I just, well, you let the elderly people pick first,
Yeah.
but. You go pick, but you don't. I mean, you don't wait for the men to eat first.
But isn't-
Sorry,
but
not my.
In our culture, don't we feed? Don't we a lot of times feed the kids first to keep them quiet? I guess.
I don't know.
Oh, we don't have kids.
I
so-
don't think so.
Okay, well, could be wrong. You're listening to the Let's Sign Out show right here on AM 1050, 102.3 FM, and 106.5 FM, the stations that leave no listeners behind. And this is the Let's Sign Out show. I'm food critic Allan Borgen with Isabel Bussey, and we're talking about customs around the world about eating, basically. Now, in China, okay, follow the chopstick rules. I didn't know there's rules. I thought
I didn't either.
No, seriously?
I had I didn't grow up in China. Once again, did not grow up in China.
How many years? You lived there. How many years?
It wasn't China.
Okay, I forgot. It's what, Hong Kong.
Yeah, it was under British rule. So I
What's
don't know any of that
It's
stuff.
kind of China, isn't it?
Not really.
Okay, well,
No,
whatever. We'll fight later.
not at all.
Okay. Ooh, a little anger there. Just
You
because
could ask anybody that grew up in that age and say, "Oh, you from China?" and they'll tell you, "Absolutely not. We're not from
Okay,
China."
well,
So
excuse me. Ooh. Oh, it says, just remember to leave your chopsticks upright in a bowl. This is considered to be offensive, as this is a
how do
common
you
pr-
leave it upright? Because when it
not
slide
to
off,
leave, no, not to leave it upright in a bowl.
well, wouldn't it slide off?
No, no. If you leave it upright, like, no, it's straight up, like, you just stick the right in the bowl. Here it says, just remember not to leave your chopsticks upright in a bowl. This is considered to be offensive, as this is a common practice during funerals when the Chinese make offerings to the departed. It is also considered rude to place your chopsticks pointing in someone's direction. I didn't know that. Ooh, and all the Chinese restaurants I've been to with people,
I have no clue. You're asking the wrong person.
all I heard, I think, what is it? You're not supposed to cross chopsticks? Leave it crossed?
I think I've heard that before, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure why.
I'm more Chinese than you are. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I
Oh wait, you're not Chinese. I forgot. You're
literally don't know.
from Hong Kong, but you're not Chinese. I don't get
Yeah, no, don't know.
that. Okay, whatever. India. Okay. In India, an empty plate means that you have enjoyed the food that has been served you. It also shows that you honor the host by expressing the food was tasty. However, in China, the food it's regarded that your host did not serve enough food. Interesting how
So you're not supposed to eat all the food?
no, in China, it's regarded, yeah, if you clean the plate up, they like, oh my God, we didn't give him enough. I don't understand that, but
Don't know that either.
no, but it's
Never heard of it.
You know the wacky Chinese. And everything. So, okay, in Britain, tea time is everything. It's every time, and but here there's some things, and we just talked about this before. To begin with, when stirring the tea, one should take utmost care to ensure the spoon does not touch the sides of the cup.
No clanging.
Yeah, why is that?
No clanging whatsoever.
Why is that?
It's supposed to be silent. It's manners.
That's manners.
Yeah.
So you're okay.
Like you sit upright, elbows not like this, on the table. No elbows on the
you're
table.
knocking the way I eat and sit up. Yes, okay. The spoon should also not be left in the cup after stirring, and must be placed on the saucer.
That's a saucer, yep. Not on the table, on the saucer.
Okay. Chile. Now here in Chile, they have the no hands policy. This is interesting. In Chile, people try to eat almost everything with a fork, spoon, and knife. Even if the food involves items that you can enjoy more with your hands, like chicken drumsticks and wings, it is customary to use a fork and knife. That's interesting because I see people do that now, and I'm like, pick the damn thing up and eat it. I can't believe it. People believe that food should never be eaten with one's hands.
Yeah, I think that's what I was brought up to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's proper
So how would
manners.
you eat like wings or drumstick?
With the fork and
You
knife.
would never pick it up,
With the fork and knife.
but would you ever pick it up to chew the? I know you like bones and stuff.
At home, it's different, but if you go out to eat, no, absolutely not.
Hmm.
So I won't pick that type of food if I go out to eat.
Now, when you go to their country, I wonder. So you're not.
I don't know because you strategically don't pick the food that you have to work really hard for.
Yeah. Well, you've been to different countries with different cultures, but do you follow theirs, or you just do what you want to do?
I usually just try to, exhibit good manners.
Right. What about like in Germany? You spent a lot of time in Germany.
They eat with fork and knife, and
Is there anything there like do they have beer and wine with every meal or stuff like
yeah,
that?
usually do. They usually. I worked for a German company, and every meal we had aperitif, then appetizer, then there's like the wine for the meal, and then after meal you have an after dinner drink,
Wow.
and then you end with cheese.
Really?
You do not.
What
Yeah,
time?
it's not dessert. It's cheese. It's a cheese platter.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, with the dessert wine.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, again, Egypt and Portugal, don't ask for salt and pepper, please. Do not ask for it.
Hmm.
See,
So
many,
if it's really bland, you
well,
just
here it
gotta
is.
suck
Many
it
a
up.
time, your little one may have a little bit of salt or pepper when eating out. However, in Egypt and Portugal, asking for salt and pepper is seen as a huge insult to whomever cooked the food.
Mm.
There you are. Now that you know that, interesting food custom around the world, that you'll remember to behave. So it's really different around the world. I mean, every country you go to.
Mhm.
So we should do more research on this.
Mhm.
And so what's the strangest time you've ever been eating out and anywhere?
We mean the strangest time.
Is there any one thing that any one time that you were told, wait a minute, you're not supposed to do that? Did anybody ever say that to you in any meal?
No.
Don't you normally? I normally watch everybody else first and see what they do and then chime in.
Well, but unless I don't know anything that's so strange that you don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you?
No, but like the ones we just talked about. I
Oh.
mean, it would be interesting how we would handle that.
Mm.
'Cause if we went in there not knowing this stuff, how do you know it?
Mhm.
Although a lot of people are reading up when you go to a country. There's a lot of things, touching, hugging. I'm a hugger, and you're not supposed to. for
Or
a lot of
nodding.
cultures.
Do you know nodding? It's like it means no
Really?
in a lot of countries. Yeah, I think in the Middle East, if you nod means to no.
So if someone's talking.
It's totally the opposite. It's not the not
So if
not
someone's
side by side, but it's the nodding. If you hit nodding, I think it wasn't in Greece. I think it was in Greece. If you like point your chin out it actually you're cussing somebody out. I
Really?
think it was that. I think I read something like if you like tilt your chin up and at somebody that basically you're telling them off. I think. Yeah, I think I read something like that. So like don't swing your head around, I guess, because you don't know which one is going to be offending somebody.
Yeah. Well, people get offended no matter what. No, I think.
Yeah, so the yes and no is totally opposite in
Right.
certain countries. So like we nod because we say yes, and there's some country when you nod it means no. So
What are I'm trying to think of other strange. I know what in Alaska the Eskimos they rub their noses together and
mm,
kind of means I love you
hmm
type of thing.
yeah, I think it's a click with the tongue and like with the chin. I'm not sure. I think I read it somewhere, and I'm like, ooh, God, remember not to do anything crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
Would not be, you know, I wouldn't want people to think I'm cussing them out, even though unknowingly you're doing it.
Well, it's very easy to if you don't know these things to make people kind of upset at you. Culture is upset.
Well, yeah, it's easy. It's always good just not to do so crazy things when you're in other people's countries. Just be respectful. I think.
Yeah. I know like in Jamaica, they're very there's people going in there thinking all Jamaicans are stupid and dumb and they insult them. Basically they look down on them and a lot of times they don't they don't like people that do that. Obviously, I mean it makes them like
Mm.
idiots. They don't like that. So yeah, people don't have respect for the people. I don't think anymore. I don't see that here even. So
Yeah, I think that it's like a lost art. I
yep.
think people tend. I don't. Is it because people are not teaching the children? I'm not sure. I'm not sure because um, that was kind of pounded in my head as a child. So
Have respect for people.
yeah,
Yeah.
just everybody should be respected, no matter what their position in life or
Well, now the
is.
new culture, it seems like it's gone crazy. It's like, just lie yourself. Don't blame and lie. Then that's acceptable. It seems like just blame and lie, and you'll
No
get away with everything.
accountability.
No accountability, none.
Yep.
And that's on everything, whether it's politics or just everyday life. People don't. They're afraid they get defensive. They don't say, "Hey, I screwed up. I'm sorry. I'll move on." You find that with work a lot of times, and I've
Hmm.
seen that all the time. But it's when our leaders are doing that, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Is
Hmm.
that the new? Are we going back? It seems like we're going back in time versus, we're supposed to be more mature now, more knowledgeable.
Civilized.
Yeah,
It seems like we're going back in
you find
civilization.
that too?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I don't know why people tend to be more almost abrasive.
Mm-hmm. It's intimidating. I almost like bullying, intimidating. I think.
Yeah, I
I mean, how do you have respect for people that blame and don't take responsibility? I have none respect for them.
yeah,
That's like the
it's
lowest
hard for
common
me
denominator.
to even deal with people like that because
And
like
we both
I
know people.
encounter people like that, and it's like they'll ask for help, and then you try to offer them help, and they go, "I understand. I already know it." And I'm
Well,
like, "Well,
well,
then
that's
why are
the
you
thing.
asking
They
me?"
act like
Because
they act like they know everything, and they don't listen, and they blame if something goes wrong. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. I mean, it's everybody else's fault.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. If they forgot something, well, somebody interrupted me. Well, you still forgot it. I
yeah,
mean, it has nothing to do with somebody
and it's
else.
nothing wrong with not being perfect. It's okay. People all
Yeah,
screwed up. We all do.
yeah.
And
I don't know. I'm always the one go, oh no, it must be me. I must have messed it up because I assume
well,
something I did
well,
wrong. So
you
I'm the
take
opposite.
you take things too much to your heart. I
Yeah,
mean, you're in a field where you got to be perfection in a way, but you're in a real life, it's not that. That's not real. That's a Hallmark channel.
well, but no, but just for me, it's like, okay, well, if I messed up, I need to learn from that mistake, right? And not to do it again. So, and, like I said, I guess because personally, I hate when people don't take accountability. So for me, it's like, oh my gosh, if something got messed up, and obviously I was the last person there, it could be me. I don't know. Wasn't knowingly doing it, but I better mentally know that not to do that again, right?
Right.
So, it's just trying to learn from a mistake. So
Right.
that's all.
Okay. Before we go on to our next little feature, we're talking about the favorite foods in America and the worst foods in the world. So I got a bunch of lists of those. Those are interesting. But
Before that, we can talk about some favorite foods around locally.
oh yeah, well Ray's a Shanghai Bistro in Redlands. It's on the go, and you're right next to DMV. And there's a lot of restaurants that are really good, but they're more, how can I say this nicely, Americanized. They're kind of dumbed down for us. I guess is the best way of putting it. Because let's face it, most people are like ooh ooh, and but this restaurant is kind of combines the best of both worlds: the authenticity and the dumbed down a little bit, but
Well, I don't
in a
think
good way.
they have any like Americanized dishes. I don't
No,
think.
but I'm saying they have a lot of dishes there that Americans like.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
find it in real Chinese restaurants.
Mm.
But this is by far one of the best ones around. Again, it's called Ray's RUI apostrophe S Shanghai Bistro in Redlands, and they do stuff that no one else does. Like they do a crisp fried spare rib. They cook it, and then what they do
Garlic.
is
Ooh,
they
this
deep
price.
fry it, so it's crunchy with garlic. I mean, that is so unique. They do a spicy lamb with bamboo. You don't see that very often. Sweet and tangy deep fried orange peel beef. Now, orange peel chicken's one thing. Orange peel beef, a lot of places have it, but this one's the best. I know you've never had that, and it's
Well,
really, really good.
never had it where it's so tangy, and I really like it there because it's it has a good tangy, sweet, bite to it. It's actually very exciting flavor and it has a good crunch.
Yeah, they also do a really good savory basil shrimp, real spicy, and lots of vegetarian dishes. And this is a restaurant that they do catering. You can either come in and eat there, or they'll take curbside or deliver to your house, whatever. But we highly recommend. It's my favorite and your favorite now too. And I think people who I send there, they always thank me like, wow, this is really good. Now they are going to be moving to a bigger location, which we'll talk about as it
Probably
happens.
accommodate more people
A
because
lot more people.
they're really busy because they cook everything fresh, nothing's pre-made, so that there's usually a wait to get in, but I think it's well worth the wait just because once you get in, your food gets there pretty quickly.
And it's consistent. The owner, he's the chef there, the head chef, and he's always there, literally. So, but it's called Ray's RUI ShanghaiBistro.com or .net. I'm sorry. That's Ray's ShanghaiBistro.net. And if you like Chinese food, this is by far one of the best ones. On the downside of life, we all go through some family problems, family issues like divorces and problems with kids, or separations and stuff like that. And one of the companies that were really, really referred to me was Bowler and Bowler Family Law, and I was just amazed how nice they are. It's very professional. I've been in business for over 50 years. It's a father-son, and the staff there are friendly. They're professionals. If they say they'll get back to you, they get back to you. They're always making sure you understand. They don't talk down to you. They talk right at you. And we're talking anything to do with divorces, prenuptial agreements, spousal support issues, same-sex marriages, child support, non-marital relationships, paternity issues, anything in there in family law they deal with. And again, they're very professional, and they're the number one, I believe, divorce family law practice in Southern California, especially in Redlands here. So again, it's Bowler, Bowler, and Bowler firm. Telephone number is 909-335-4848. That's 909-335-4848. Their website is bowlerandbowler.com. That's bowlerandbowler.com. And we have Soaring Swine Acres, and Izzy's big smile comes to her face.
Yeah, I love Soaring Swine Acres. It's just the name itself is a mouthful, but it's their logo is a flying pig. How can you not be smiling just thinking about that? But they do offer jams, jellies, honeys, sauces, pickle products, and they also have new Voodoo Queen holistic teas that you cannot find it anywhere else. They have 300 delicious tasting unique items that or probably more than that, because they might display 300. They have a lot more that they do seasonally, so it does get changed out the flavors quite a bit. You can visit Soaring Swine Acres store in Yucaipa, or you can purchase their products on their website, SoaringSwineAcres.com. It's SoaringSwineAcres.com. SoaringSwineAcres.com.
Soaring Swine Acres. And best of all, when you go there, you get free samples.
Yeah, because they have delicious items such as rosemary pear jelly, ginger orange jam, cherry chili jam, smoked apple jelly, plus also they have this barbecue sauce that I totally amazing. I think it's amazing. It's like keto friendly, so there's no sugar added, and it's a Carolina barbecue sauce. So for anybody that might be doing sugar free, thinking, oh, I can't really go to a place like this because I'm not going to find anything I enjoy. You'll find the pickles, you find the sugar free items. They do have sugar free jellies and jams, and their items. They're not using the cheap sugar free
No.
alternative that makes you sick. They actually use erythritol, which is a lot, and xylitol, which is much more expensive for them to make, but it tastes actually so much better. And I couldn't tell the difference when I eat their sugar-free items. So I really enjoy it. So it makes really good gifts. And for holidays, or they do have the Jam of the Month Club. I mean, there's so much.
So if you go on the website, you'll find all
Yeah.
the information. So it's
Yeah.
SoaringSwineAcres.com. Okay, by the way, we just got up a new sponsor too. They'll be joining us in September. It's called
Ooh.
All Magic. It's a collision and body and paint. And
Well, that's a strange change.
and I found them. Well, I've known the owner.
What happened?
I've known. Well, we're getting into it. I've known the owner probably 18 years now, and I've always admired him and stuff. And I got rear-ended for the second time. This last time it was only kind of minor damage, but enough where I need some body work. And wow, you talk about being impressed. And I have somebody I referred him to, and they said the same thing. It's like, wow, these people are nice and friendly, and they work with you. They're really, really good. And there's one in Fontana. Let's see, Fontana, Norco, Moreno Valley, and is it Rialto? Oops, I don't know that one. I think Rialto too. But anyway, it's all magic. We'll have them on the air and talk about them. But if you ever need collision work or anything, and there's a California law, I didn't know that till last night. I heard that you have a choice of where you want to go. Insurance companies can't tell you can only go here, here, or here. They pretty much can.
Not
send
in the
where you
state of
want.
California.
Yeah, so that's a good thing.
Oh, that's
so.
a good thing.
Yep.
Because, I was led to believe, especially from friends that might have other insurance companies saying, oh, you can't go there. You have to go this other place.
Right.
So,
No.
they're actually lying to them. Huh?
Right. So we'll have them on and we'll talk more about
All
them.
right.
So. Okay, Izzy, I'm going to test your food knowledge.
Okay.
The number one most popular foods in America is a hamburger. Okay. What's number two?
Pizza.
Nope. What? Taco? Nope. Okay, this is it. Potato chips, donuts, ice cream. He's laughing. Chicken tenders, soft drink soda, pizza, Oreo cookies, and French fries.
So in that order.
I believe so.
Oh, okay.
No wonder we're all.
Well, pizza's on the list.
Well, yeah. but-
Okay, you say no.
So yeah, okay, it's on the list. But I was doing it in order. Okay, just misinterpretation. But of all these lists here, you talk about why people are dying of heart disease,
And overweight.
are overweight, are diabetic. Oh my goodness, that's kind of sad, isn't it?
Yeah. None of it's healthy.
Nope. And on the other list I have, which kind of explains a whole different thing, it's very similar. What is the most unpopular food in the world?
Probably everything I like.
The 10.
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts is number one.
Broccoli.
No, number one is candy corn.
Candy corn.
Yeah.
It's okay.
The
I'll
can-
take it or leave it.
Joe, our engineer, goes, why? Number two is olives.
Oh, Joe said black licorice.
Licorice, okay. Olives.
Huh.
I
I
like
guess that
olives.
didn't make the list, Joe.
Anchovies. And we love anchovies.
I love anchovies.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't get enough.
Oh, number four, blue cheese.
Oh, I love blue cheese.
Stilton blue cheese. Yum, yum. Number five, raisins.
Oh, I love raisins.
I don't.
I love like oatmeal raisin. I mean, that's the highlight to have the raisin.
Number six. This one's interesting because I think a lot of countries use it. Turnips.
Oh, I like turnips.
How's that funky? You know, they pickle it. They
I love it.
cook stews with it. Seven is okra.
I like okra.
I know a lot of people don't like it because it's slimy.
Yeah, but depends how you prepare it, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you fried okra, it's not slimy.
Right. And then Brussels sprouts.
I love Brussels
Now it
sprouts.
says 10 most. I only got the 8 here. I took a screenshot and didn't have
Yeah.
the other 2.
Cut off your two.
Yep. But there's more than that. But anyway.
So it's all the foods I like, basically.
Yeah,
That's not popular.
those are unpopular ones. And
Well, that's good because I'm not fighting for the popular stuff
I
because
was,
people can have it.
I was surprised to see the list of people that the things they like. It's like, oh my goodness, it's sweet and starchy and carbs, and it doesn't have bread in there. I'm surprised, but they have donuts and
Yeah, see,
obviously pizza.
don't love that either.
So, uh, speaking of pizza, we're going to be having in the future, very soon, I hope, a gentleman who's going to be talking about the world of flour, FLOUR, not FLOWER. There's so many different types of flours out there, and
I had no idea. I just thought flour is flour.
Yep,
And you
wrong.
can make everything with flour. But I end up reading up on it because, Ellen kind of, exposed me to the knowledge. And I looked, and there's a catalog of flours and what type of flours and what kind of mix and what they make. So each type of flour makes different items.
And the grinding of it.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, the finer there is that, for doubles, it's called 00. That's like the finest you can get, I believe. And for Neapolitan type pizzas, that's what they use. And that's why it's really, it's the way it's made.
Chewy.
It's chewy and just really good. But if also for those of us who are on watching our weight and, trying to low carb it as much as you can, almond flour, there's cassava flour, there's all kinds of flours out there that all of a sudden we're thinking about it. And we've had some that, especially gluten-free stuff. I was a judge at the International Pizza Expo when they first started. The category was gluten-free pizzas, and I think the first 2 years they were awful. I mean, really bad. The last time around, and then they ended it because it's mainstream now. Caputo, which is a very, very famous big Italian flour company, they milled one basically for gluten-free pizzas. They were the first ones out there, and it's as good as anything I've had. I mean, we were shocked.
I've tasted some gluten-free pizza. I had no idea it was gluten-free.
Nope.
Or gluten-free foods, which we've had gone to a restaurant in Orange County that had make their whole restaurant's gluten-free. They make everything from scratch, and there's no gluten in any of their foods, and they're phenomenal. I don't even know, wouldn't miss the gluten at all. So it's just,
I think a lot of it has to do with your mind. If you're open to try new things, you can't compare apples to apples. Apples to oranges may be, but it's still good. Oranges are just as good. And I think that's what we're going to have to learn is re-educating our mind into things. A lot of people eat like the plant-based, what's happening now. In the past, it was awful. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Now, and we've talked about it, there's some plant-based foods we've had there. It's tremendous, really, really good. And not only flavor-wise, but they don't kill your stomach. And your mind says they're meat.
And the grease, the fat level is totally like the healthy fat versus the animal fat, so it's not as healthy. So I mean, I was very, very impressed with some of the vegetarian or vegan restaurants that's out there that we don't have locally, by the way, that really makes and so creative to make sushi that has no fish.
But you wouldn't know it.
You had no idea. Yeah, plant-based all the way.
Yeah. So I'm becoming a big fan of it. And again, some people they give you that face like ew, but I'm telling you the quality now is really outstanding and it's getting better and better. So hopefully in our area we'll see it. I know our area is still like Mayberry. We're the last ones to get any kind of creative type of restaurants. Most of them just follow the same menus, just different.
Well, there's some good restaurants here.
I'm not saying bad, but
No.
it's the
There's
same.
some really good restaurants.
I'm kind of.
Okay, whatever.
To me is I'm not saying they're bad at all. I'm just saying that they're not cutting edge creative. They're everywhere else you find it, but not here. And again, I guess people here just don't want to see it. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure. I don't understand that why people are people. They eat. No matter what. I don't care how much money you have. Good food is good food. So that's my opinion.
Well, you've never been exposed to certain new things, and you don't know to look for new things.
Yep.
There you go.
So, speaking of new things, we're looking at changing a few things of our show, adding more features. I know I want to go
More lifestyle.
Lifestyle too, yeah. Indian casinos, the restaurant scene is totally different than it used to be. They're really, really going after clients to come not just to gamble but to eat. I know Sam Manuel and Morongo especially, they've really got a whole new concept, which I don't quite understand, but we're going to have them on.
San Manuel is no longer San Manuel.
Yamava.
Okay.
And we actually ate there and one of the restaurants, and it was excellent.
Yeah.
And we were like,
it was
wow.
just the cafe, and it was actually very impressive.
Yeah, it was kind of
the food was amazing.
So I'm looking for between that and Pachanga, which has always been really good food.
Yeah, we haven't visited them since COVID, so I think we should start going around testing them out again.
Weren't we on our way there? I think we were on our way there.
We're on the way there when
to meet with
the
them.
whole entire country shut down. I think that same day. So.
Yeah, but I mean, there's Fantasy Springs is beautiful. There's two really nice casinos there.
Oh, and we had food there that was actually very good in their cafe.
Yep, and then the theater there, we saw a concert, and it's like, wow.
Several concerts.
Yeah, very good seating, very reasonably priced.
Well, some.
Right.
It depends, on the venue.
Yeah, well, most of them pretty good. And then, anyway, a lot of good stuff happening. So, but you can always.
So we're going to be traveling around, checking out places. So if you guys have any new places that you come across, or you have any suggestions, places we should try out, definitely reach out to Allan.
We're on Facebook.
At Mr. Foodie1 at outlook.com.
Right, or Facebook. You can find
or Instagram.
So.
Yep.
And anyway, until next week, we're on every Saturday from 4 to 5, and we will see you then. Food critic Allan Borgen here.
And Izzy Bussy.
Happy eating, everybody.
Happy eating.
Take care.
KCAA.
Now, here's a new concept. Digital